Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over my top 10 picks for the REI Gear Up and Get Out sale. So if you're not already an REI member, now is actually the perfect time to sign up because the way it works is you pay a one-time $20 fee, and actually as of right now you'll get a $20 gift card back, so that will cancel it out. So with the REI membership, it's lifelong. You don't pay $20 every year. It's literally a lifelong membership. And with it, you'll get a couple perks. So for one, you'll be receiving now 10% back on all your full price items. So anything that you don't get on sale, you'll get 10% back, which is nice. And then also you'll now be entered to their catalog of 20% off full price and a 20% off outlet item that comes whenever they do their holiday sales or just their typical sales. I can do another video on their typical calendar year for sales, but in this video, we're going to be focusing on this particular sale and some of my recommendations for what you could use your 20% off coupon. So the sale starts November 12th and it goes through November 22nd, but I recommend adding everything that you want to your cart early. That way you don't have to worry about it selling out. So in no particular order, although I'll start maybe with my favorite item, is the Snow Peak Tikibi Tarp. If you're not familiar with the Tikibi line of tarps, these are fantastic tarps, especially for this time of the year, because you can have a fire directly underneath it. It has a special fireproof lining on it, and it's great for fall winter camping, and it's also great for summer camping because it provides a nice amount of shade underneath it as well. So yeah, I actually checked one out recently in the store, and it looks like it's going to be pretty cool. It looks really big in the store, but I think when I actually take it out, it's going to look a little bit different. But yeah, there's plenty of room under it, I'd say, for like 3 to 4 people. And it's going to be perfect for, I mean, we have a pretty small setup, so it's not going to be like anything overwhelming for us. But it'll be nice to have the fire pit under there and the firewood keeping it dry, especially if it's raining out. So the regular price of the Tikibi Tarp is $499. But you'd be saving about $100 on that guy with your 20% off, bringing it up to $399. That's a great deal right now, and it's definitely going to be one that I hope I get. Okay, so next up on the list, which pairs perfectly with the Tikibi Tarp, is the Tikibi Fireplace. As you guys may have seen in my other videos, I take this thing with me on almost every trip I go. Anywhere that basically allows a fire, I'll have my Tikibi fire pit with me, just because it folds flat and it comes with a really nice canvas case. It's just really nice to have it. Even if you're going to like regular state-run campgrounds, we still bring it and use it with us because there's a video I think actually I watched back in the summer, and they were talking about how, like, you know, a lot of people who use these fireplaces, not everyone does it, but I know a lot of people do, and they'll just put their trash in there, burn their trash, put cigarettes, all kinds of just garbage and stuff inside there and burn it. So there's always remnants of their trash basically in there. So when you go to do your fire the next night after them, you're also burning whatever plastics and stuff that's already in there. So that's the nice thing about having your own fire pit. You know what's in there, you know what's been burning in there, especially if you're going to be using it for cooking. So something I do want to mention is it's a little bit heavier than I expected, even with that canvas bag. Like when you're actually picking it up, the first thing I remember thinking was, wow, this is really heavy. It's probably at least like 25 pounds in such a compact form. So it does feel pretty heavy to lug around, but it is really solid material. So that's probably why it's so heavy, and it's like the whole set. So, but yeah, it's definitely really nice to have one, and I would definitely recommend it, especially because now you'll be saving $63.99 on it. So regularly it's $319.95, and you'll be getting it for $255.96 with that 20% off coupon. It's a great deal. So if you haven't already seen, I've made a video on this one. I'll link it down below. But these chairs have come with us on every camping trip that we've been on. We use these all the time. We sit many hours on them. They're extremely comfortable chairs, and we really like them a lot. The material is surprisingly easy to clean, and it looks really nice and feels really durable. So the low beach chairs retail at $149, and you'd be saving about $30 on them, bringing it down to $119.96. So next up on the list is the Snow Peak Folding Bench. And so this is one I was thinking about for quite some time. So what I would use this for is I want to put my cooler, and then I also want to put my Yeti Go box on it, which basically I keep all my dry food on it. And then underneath it, I would put my Scepter water tanks and then my dish bin. So I'd kind of just use it as like a little storage table for my kitchen gear, you could say, and washing dishes and stuff like that. Because I don't think I need it. It's not 100% necessary. But at the same time, maybe it would make things a little more convenient. I don't know. I'm still thinking about that one, but I have it on my list as a maybe item as well. Anyways, that one retails at $199, and with your 20% off, you'd be saving $39.99, bringing it down to $159.96. So next up on the list is the Snow Peak Single Action Low Table. So I actually also have this one in my cart right now as a potential contender. So I'm thinking about getting this one as just a little eating table, and we can use it around the tarp and stuff like that. I can even take it inside the tent if I want to use it inside the tent. So I think it's a really cool table. And it is pretty expensive though. It's regularly $299, but with 20% off, you're saving about $60 on it, bringing it down to $239.96. So another recommendation I could give you for this table is you could use this if you're not 100% sure if you want to do the whole IGT system, which is a great system, and I'll be doing a review on that later. If you're not 100% set on that right now, you could actually just use this table and a burner on top of it, and it would provide you a nice compact, setup where you could cook, eat, and prep food on, and a good alternative to maybe even getting that IGT set up. So next up on the list is the Snow Peak Home and Camp Butane Stove. This stove looks really nice in terms of its compactness. So this would be a great stove to add to that table that I just mentioned before, the single action low table, because you could use, it folds up super small just like that table does. It would honestly be a really nice set. If I had an even smaller car, or I just didn't want to bring a lot of gear with me, this would be a really cool, I think, minimal setup to use, like that single action low table with the Snow Peak Home and Camp burner. I think you can make a really nice setup just with that alone. I've seen some performance tests on it on YouTube. It looks pretty nice. It has a really nice switch for dialing in the amount of flame you want, so you have pretty good control over it. The only thing is you have to keep in mind is it takes the butane fuel, so those are those long. It's a different type of fuel than the traditional isopropane ones. So that's something you're gonna have to just be aware of when you're getting it. So Snow Peak also sells a nice carrying case. It'll hold the stove perfectly in it, and you can also carry a few extra fuels in there too, which is quite nice. So I recommend getting that case with it also for transporting that guy. So the price of the home and camp burner is $109.95. You'd be saving $21.99 on it, bringing it down to $87.96. Not bad for a nice camp stove that can support, larger pots and stuff like that. So that's definitely one to consider if you don't already have a stove. And if you don't already have a cooler, this is the time that you guys are going to want to get a cooler. So what we have is a Yeti Tundra 35 cooler, and that cooler has been perfect for, up to 4-night trips, I'd say, that we've gone on. We come back, we still have plenty of ice on it. Now, how much ice you have is going to just depend on how much you open it, how you pack it, how you're storing it, stuff like that. But I've never had an issue with this cooler with ice. I'm actually shocked how well this cooler keeps the ice. When I come back and I have most of the ice still there, that's how you know it's a really great cooler. So that cooler is $249.98 regularly. You could save $50 on it if you use your 20% off, bringing it down to $200. It's a great time to get this cooler. And if you don't think you need the amount of room in the Tundra 35, you could always go with the Yeti Roadie 24 cooler, save a little bit of cash too. So if you know you're only going on 2-night trips, or maybe it's just the two of you, or just one of you even, the Roadie is definitely the way to go, I'd say, for if you're only going to be out there a couple nights, 2 nights. If you're going to go more than 2 nights, definitely step up to the 35, because you'll have the room if you need to put more food in there. But if you know for certain that you don't want to do more than just a short trip, the Yeti Roadie is definitely one to consider. So if you don't already have a sleeping pad and you're looking to get one, this is a great time to look into those Xped Mega Mats. So as you may already know, we use the Xped Mega Mat Duo Long Wide, and it's a fantastic mat to sleep on. It's extremely comfortable. It also helps keep us warm, and it's pretty easy to inflate and set up. That mat retails at $349, and you can get it down to $279 if you use your 20%. So Xped even has a luxury version of this same mat called the Xped Mega Mat Max 15, which retails at $429, and with your 20% off, you can get that one down to $343. And the main difference between the two mats is the luxury version has more foam, so it's a little more insulating, it's a little more comfortable. It's definitely a little bit heavier, and it's going to fold up a little larger, so that's something to keep in mind. I personally probably would have gone with this luxury version if they had it in stock at the time, but they didn't have it. I just think it'll be nice to have a little bit thicker of a mattress, because I think it actually will end up being a little bit warmer also, just with that extra insulation inside of it. And it'll also be more comfortable. So my wife's a side sleeper, and she thinks that one would have been better. I'm not going to get it. I already have this one, so it's just fine. Next up on the list is the Pendleton Yakama Camp queen size blanket. So I use this blanket in my tent on the floor actually, and I think it provides a really nice layer of insulation from the ground in the tent. So it may even contribute to making it warmer at night for the mattress, because I don't have my mattress directly on the floor. I put it directly on top of actually this mat. And it does make quite a big difference inside the tent. It really like warms things up in there. It feels really nice to walk on. It absorbs like all the pebbles and little sticks on the floor, so you don't really feel those. I think it's really nice inside the tent, especially on the floor. It's kind of a shame that REI doesn't have the 100% virgin wool ones, because I would recommend adding those to the list also. At least in the queen size, they don't have them. They do have a couple of the national parks, and I believe it's a twin size, but they don't have the queen size, which is what we use on our Xped Mega Mat. But yeah, definitely to check out that Yakama Camp if you don't already have one. Those are great, honestly, inside the tent. And then finally on the list is one of my favorite items, and one of the most useful items I think that we have, is the REI pack-away bins. So these bins, they come in really handy in terms of just storing all your loose items basically inside one thing. So what I typically do is I'll put all the stuff that goes inside my tent in these bins, and we'll carry these inside the tent, unload it inside the tent, and then I'll take one of them out, and I'll usually keep one of them actually inside my tent, because that'll be my one-stop storage bin basically for in the tent. So we keep our clothes in there, we keep accessories in there, toys, books, all kinds of stuff in there. It's just like a little nice chest of all our stuff, and it keeps everything off the floor, and it makes it really nice and roomy in the tent. So it's definitely worth checking one of those out. And it also makes it safer to transport your gear, because you don't have loose items all over the place, and it saves a bunch of time, honestly, when you're unpacking. Okay, so for the REI Packaway bin, 140 liter, it retails at $129, so you'd be saving $25.80 with your 20%, bringing it down to $103.20. A couple other things I want to mention, because there is some stuff that is on sale that you don't have to use your 20% on top of. So yeah, so all smart wool, it says, is going to be 25% off. So that's really great, because smart wool, they're pretty pricey base layers. They're really nice though. It's the ones we personally use. We use the 250 weight ones for the fall winter time. It keeps us warmer. So yeah, smart wool, you can get 25% off all their stuff. So I would check that out as well. Another bonus item would be the M-powered solar lights. We recently picked up a couple of those and brought them with us to the Alvord Desert just to have some extra lights to leave on night. Wow, these things I left on, before we went to bed, and it lasted all the way to like 10 in the morning, and it probably still would have kept going, and it provided a really nice amount of light around the car. I was shocked actually how bright they were. Even on like a medium setting, it was really quite bright. They fold flat, and they're really easy to inflate. And yeah, they're really cool lights, so especially if they're 25% off, why not add a couple of those to your bins and bring them with you. They even have one of the colored ones, I believe, 40% off, so check that out as well. Another bonus item would be the Peak Design carbon fiber tripod. You could use your 20% off on that one. It's the tripod I personally bring with me, and I absolutely love this tripod. It's overkill. I know I only use an iPhone to record, but I really like this tripod because I can bring this thing with me everywhere, and it's so small. I mean, it's unbelievable how compact this tripod folds into itself. So it's definitely one to consider and definitely one to check out. It definitely is pricey at $599 regularly, but you could save $119 on it right now with the 20% off, which brings it down to $479.96, which isn't too bad for a really nice carbon fiber tripod that you'll be using for years and years. So definitely one to consider. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. I've never done a video like this, so let me know what you guys think below if you want to see more stuff like this in the future. If you have any questions about any of the gear on the list or want to know more about any of the items in particular, let me know below and we can chat about it. Yeah, this is definitely a great time to pick up a couple items on sale. All right guys, well that wraps it up for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.